Mastercard, as you probably know, is a technology organization in the payment space. And what we do is to facilitate commerce and payments around the world for consumers, merchants, financial institutions, government, and society. My key priority is to build capability within the company to help us advance our business strategy. And to do that, we're focused on a couple of areas. One is strategic business knowledge and skills, and so there are some particular skills that are critical to us advancing our strategy. The second is leadership development, and the third is career and professional development. Underlying that is a focus on technology as a means of facilitating learning. We actually did it in 2013, and it was a part of our effort to reframe how we are developing high potentials within Mastercard. We created an accelerated development program, and we needed to have an assessment tool as the basis of that program. The tool needed to be something that was globally relevant because we are a global company with employees all around the world. We also needed a tool that was going to be personally relevant for the participants. And so while we needed something that had a scientific background or research that validated the tool, we needed something that was more than conceptual when the participant received the findings, something they could relate to and find it relevant and meaningful. And in looking at all of the various tools that are out there, we found Harrison to be the best option for us because it was based on behaviors and not on personality. Since we've implemented the Harrison assessment, we've seen some positive impacts in the short period of time that we've been utilizing it. One is that we've had our high potentials who've actually gone through the assessment really identify concrete areas of focus that they want to make different choices as it relates to their behavior. And that's kind of the beauty of the Harrison versus a personality tool, is it's all about choices. It's hard to change your personality, but you can always make decisions about which behaviors that you want to modify or use more of, have them show up more. We've also linked this with a leadership assessment so that our managers and employees could also provide input on the types of behaviors that the high potentials needed to focus on in order for them to be better prepared to take on larger leadership roles within our organization. The feedback has been interesting. One is they're very surprised at how short the actual assessment tool is. And they're also very surprised at how accurate it is, because at the end of the day, the tool asks the participant to really make preferences based on their own behaviors. So when they get the report back, it's a reflection of really what they prefer and what they don't like to do. But it puts it into context in terms of how these preferences impact one's ability to be effective in a role. So the participants who've taken Myers-Briggs and a lot of other assessments, they get the tool back and they're surprised that it really is very personal to them, it's very accurate to them, but also there have been a lot of ahas that explain many coaching assignments that they've had in the past that didn't really just come together. The tool has an incredible way of putting that all together, putting it in context, so that you can then take action against it. Most of the resistance really came from individuals, I would say individuals who are more colleagues within the HR space, and some of our leaders who are very comfortable with other tools, be they DISC, be they Myers-Briggs, and so they just weren't familiar with a behavioral preference type of tool. But once their participant took it, their employee took the tool and started sharing the results, they really began to believe in the tool, understand that it serves a different purpose than some other personality-based tools, and they're seeing how those tools, the assessment is being placed into action for the high potentials to really make some movement on their development plan. So I have been in my role for a little over 18 months. I came into the role from a different discipline within HR and was really brought into the role to be a change agent within the learning space. And my team came from a lot of different areas within the organization. And while we had all talked about our vision, mission, values for the group, we were having a little bit of a challenge, really aligning together as a team. Tried a number of different things, tried colors, tried other traditional ways of doing team building, and it wasn't resonating. So after I had gone through the Harrison, been certified in the Harrison, I thought it would be a nice way to bring the team into the process, one, to give them education on the tool that we were using as a company, but to also test to see if it had an impact on team effectiveness. It was incredible. It was like a light bulb went off. There is a component of the Harrison that is called paradox theory, which looks at actually 12 sets of behaviors. And in looking at the data, the team was able to identify 3 key areas that were really causing angst and anxiety amongst the team members, better understand people's intentions, and really made a commitment to each other that they would work through it because they felt like they now all had a common experience, a common goal, common values. And so the level of collaboration has been much higher since we went through the team assessment. The ability to get issues out on the table and work through them has been much higher, and our level of productivity and problem solving has increased. You know, is the tool 100% responsible for all of that? No, but the tool provided a basis of a common language for us to really start having a meaningful dialogue about team building and start taking some actions and focus on some particular areas. So yes, we are evolving the use of the tool. So right now we are piloting the use of the tool for performance coaching. Again, the assessment itself is very powerful because it's very real, it's very personal, it's very relevant. And if you combine that with some structured learning, we believe that you can get a big impact in terms of really directing these behavioral shifts. Coaching and feedback is extremely important to any organization and to our organization as it relates to our people managers. So we are now piloting the tool within our performance management curriculum using a program that Impact has developed for us. We also are considering using the tool for career development and helping people better assess how effective they would be in certain roles that they may choose or certain functional areas that they would like to pursue. I'm a big believer of the tool. It has transformed my team. It has really impacted me personally, again, because it's very relevant, it's very real. The other piece I just have to say is that the tool is only as good as the people who help to facilitate the tool. And we've been really fortunate to have a great partner who's really guided us through how to use the tool and provided us with a lot of coaching and support on the back end as we debrief individuals, including ourselves, on the outcome of the assessment.